From the great halls of their house, there are assembled three who hope to one day be the world's greatest driving heroes. Created from the cosmic legends of the universe comes our team captain, the Vision, Bill Fisher. Their soon-to-be Wonder Woman, Vicki Fisher. Our Captain Marvel and head flight trainee, Jennifer Skripchuk. And our Batman, the master of tools, gadgets, and all things mechanical, our mild-mannered soon-to-be billionaire, Alan Danvers. Their mission, to fight injustice, share what is right and wrong, to get you out of your house and come out racing with them, and serve all mankind. They are the Garage Heroes in Training Team.
Captain's Log Supplemental.
Miss Vicki.
Yes, sir.
You know what?
What?
I've been thinking about this Sentinel system.
Yeah. Tell me about the Sentinel system.
So what I was thinking was we have the one car that's got the aim dash that's slowing us down. Because installing the aim dash is actually, it probably is easy, but it's quite hard the first time. And we haven't figured that out yet. The Sentinel system is really easy to set up. So what I was thinking was, why don't we put it in the Lemons car? And we'll worry about the aim data information separately. And we'll kind of break it down into a project. Because then we'd have the motorsports video system that we really, really want, and we'd be able to stream it. We just won't have the data inside, but we have the data outside, so we can combine them later. But I think that's a really good solution.
So what does this Sentinel system do?
Well, if it had the aim data, it would have all the data on the screen, and you could see all their telemetry and everything live. But we'd be able to not only record it for viewing after the race, but we could actually watch our car during the race.
Ooh, like on the monitor and everything?
On a monitor, if you were at home and I was at a track, or if you were at the track and I was at home, depends on who gets the little short straw, but we'd be able to watch each other.
It's something I've always wanted to do.
And you know what? If you're driving, you know what you can do on the Sentinel system?
What's that?
You can communicate to me with your hands, and I can't do a thing about it.
Even better.
So, if you need to give a wave or a Jersey wave, whatever you need, we could save it and see it on the screen. And then you can have up to 3 different cameras, and it'll have picture in picture. You'll have the basic main shot out the front window, and then 2 cameras where you put them wherever you want. One could be on the driver, or one could be on the rear view. It's kind of cool.
Then we can upload it onto YouTube.
We could bore millions of people on YouTube.
I love it.
All right. Very well. You know what the only downside I see about this?
What?
Your mom and my mom are going to be panic stricken the entire weekend watching this thing to see if everything's going well.
This is true.
We probably shouldn't tell them.
I like the idea of having a Sentinel.
Mm-hmm. Well, luckily we have maybe 2. Depends on how things go. We're going to try. All right. That sounds like a plan. That's the project. We got to get that ready for the next race.
Sounds great.
All right. Very well. Thank you, ma'am. Dominating with Dawson. Welcome, Mr. Ben.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, sir? We've got a question. Good. We've got a question for you.
From a listener?
Well, I do listen. If a listener were to ever have a Dominating with Dawson question, they should just write into garageheroesandtraining@gmail.com, and we would gladly put it to the top of the list, because my questions.
Oh, yes. Oh, Bill, we love the listener. Don't we love the listener?
We do. We do.
Yes, so much. We appreciate you. We surround you with our gratitude. We'd love to hear from you. Anytime, Absolutely. Any topic, almost any topic.
Absolutely. Especially from the Russian brides to be. Those are excellent. We appreciate those emails. Thank you very much. So
yes, nice to hear from everybody.
Exactly. So I have a question for you. Okay. It's something that I've been looking into and trying to learn a little bit about, and I thought maybe we could talk about it a little bit. And that is the 4 pieces of material that actually touch the ground for my race car should be limited to the tires. And part of the tires running optimally is not only the pressure and alignment,
Right.
but the balance of the tires. And there's a couple things that I've learned recently, and some of them I knew before, that were tips and tricks and do's and don'ts related to tires and tire balancing.
Yeah,
So,
let's talk about them, because I bet I'm about to go to school too.
Okay, well, this could be dominating with Fisher. Anyway,
Let's do it. Yeah.
So the tire mounting is the process of the tire, the rubber part, being mounted to the wheel or the rim, depending on what part of the country you're from.
Yep.
I'm a rim guy, but whatevs. It seems like most of the world is wheel, but I came from.
So we
rim.
say wheels.
Yeah, I say
well,
rim, but
there's more dirty humor in the rim. So let's go with the rims.
There is, but that's the Russian bride email, so we'll talk about those later. Anything to that you're concerned about with the mounting of the tire itself? Like, how do you do it? Do you do it at home? Do you take it to a shop? Do you take it to a preferred shop? Or
yeah, one thing to not do is to let your idiot friend who just happens to have a tire machine get your nice Team Dynamic Spec Miata wheels. Like, I'll mount those for you, and then chew them all up, chew your rims all up, and look at you like you're the one with the problem. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Now that I'm just saying, just as a random example that has nothing to do with my own lived experience.
So I got my first car when I was in high school. So I get my first car, and my friend's working at a garage. It's his first job, no big deal. So he's like, "Hey, let's rotate your tires." I'm like, "Great, that sounds like a great thing." So he goes in there, he gets the air lug nut, whatever, air wrench. Is that a wrench? Impact gun. Sure.
Air impact,
sounds great. Goes at it, puts it right on the first lug. This was back in the day when cars had wheel covers, and the lug was part of the wheel cover, plastic. So don't get mounted by that guy.
He's just drilling away at the spats, huh?
Yeah. So I had a 4-lug wheel cover on one of my wheels for the entire time I had that car. So
that's right. Well, I don't have a tire machine, and if you don't, you're gonna need to take your tires to the shop. When I used to race karts, I was able to mount and balance my own tires with a couple like specialized kart tire mounting tools, but that doesn't really work on the scale of a larger vehicle tire.
You don't do the crowbar and the propane inside the tire and light it up. You don't do that. I mean, I saw that on YouTube. That looks absolutely
the big old pry bar. Yeah, so there's so many ways to do it. All you need is a pallet and this thing from Harbor Freight, like right. No, I mean, ultimately, for a long time, we were exploiting some kind of Walmart loophole that was being misinterpreted at our local Walmart that was letting us get our race tires all mounted for $5 because they were some kind of unspecified tire. You know what I mean? It was like, these aren't exactly car tires. So they would do it for $5 a tire until some manager was like, "Wait, what code are you using to do that?" And the guy's like, "This." He's like, "No, that's for like lawnmower tires."
Hand truck tires. Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta say, like, I don't have the best tips for mounting tires because I don't know the most technical stuff about it. And we used to get ours done entirely on a scamming the man kind of situation for like $5 a tire, and it was great. Then I think we had to start paying $8 a tire, something just for the purely bringing your own tires.
That's like double.
And mount them. But I mean, one of the things to think about is if you're running some kind of very special like low profile tire, you're going to want a tire shop that's better than like Jiffy Lube or whatever to put the tires onto your rims, because that's a more specialized thing. It takes more skill to get a low profile, narrower sidewall tire onto a big old fat ass rim. So
right,
something to think about.
They don't bend as much. They're stiffer.
Right. And, if you're new to your area and you're trying to figure out who's good around me as far as mountain tires, you might want to buy your first set from somebody like Tire Rack and figure out who their preferred installers in the area are. You might not even have to buy a set of tires. Maybe you can just look on their Tire Rack website. I'm saying Tire Rack. So like TIRERACK is a place I would look if I was just trying to like scam some free knowledge or just call and ask them. But those people are going to be using preferred installers who are likely to be people they would recommend to people they're buying bringing race cars and stuff. So that'd be a good place to start as far as finding somebody. You know me, I'm always like just trying to figure junk out off the internet without actually talking to a person.
Yep. Any concerns about what they could do or how they could do it that you would be looking at a shop as a good one to go to or a bad one to avoid?
I mean, you still want somebody who's going to damage your stuff, right? Like, you don't want somebody who's going to mess the tire up or somebody who's going to beat your rims up, like I talked about before with something that totally did not happen to me. So yeah, I mean, you want to like hopefully you can find some folks you like that'll do it. And, you can bring them by and they'll get it done in a time frame that makes you happy. If it's you get some guys you like, they're like, hey, I'm gonna bring these by. Me and my wife and I are gonna go eat lunch when we come back and we get them. Something like that. You find a shop that'll work with you. Sometimes there's people who are a little bit excited that you're racing or you're taking a car to the track. Sometimes people just like to be tangentially involved in any way. So sometimes you can get some tire folks who are like, oh, that's cool. And they'll be a little bit more willing to help you because they know it's something cool like a race car. It's happened before. It's not going to always happen to you, but it can happen.
Yep.
So what are you looking for?
Well, I mean, the one we go to one shop around here. They take care of us pretty well because we take most of our cars there for all our somewhat basic maintenance, and they get a kick out of working on race cars. So they actually mount all our tires for nothing. So
nice. Awesome. There you go.
And I've brought 40 tires to them at one time and said, hey, I need, and they're like, okay. So they love us. But Vicki goes and brings them breakfast or sandwiches or something for no reason. So, we do our appropriate sucking up. But the things that I like to avoid, as little liquid or lubricant being used as possible to get the tire onto the rim.
So you don't want to you don't use it, what's that, Ultra Glide or whatever that stuff is called.
And I definitely don't want a whole lot of water in there.
Sure,
because that leads me to do you want nitrogen or do you want air?
Right.
It doesn't really matter. You just don't want water.
Right. Yeah. It just doesn't need to be anything sloshing around in my tire.
No, because tires, believe it or not, listeners at home, they get hot enough where the water will turn to vapor and then your tire pressure will be all over the place and not in a good way. So.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So bad day.
No joke. Let's see.
Nothing like your cold pressure being 25 and your hot pressure being 90.
Jesus. I've never really gotten to all the stuff with using nitrogen for your tires. I mean, I think I'm not a scientist, but most of the air we breathe all the time is a bunch of it is nitrogen, right?
Yes, it is. The only difference is that the nitrogen tanks have drier gas than the air compressor.
Right.
So
anyway, I'm with you. I've never really put any effort into trying to bring nitrogen to the track or put that in my tires. Let's see. I'm going to propose a point where I bet we probably diverge.
Okay.
Balancing.
Yep.
Do you ever need to do it to a track tire or a racing tire? What do you say?
I do to every tire.
Right. I've never ever balanced a race or a track tire. I mean, the shop that mounts it, I guess they'll balance it. But if you got a buddy balancing it or something, or a buddy putting them on, I don't care if it gets balanced or not.
Not only do I balance them, but those little freaking weights on there get covered with the aluminum foil tape that you use for HVAC to make sure those suckers don't come off.
I know. I knew this was going to be a point of divergence for us.
I knew it as well. That's why I thought this one would be fun, just for the two of us, because the ladies decided to punt tonight. I'm like, let's see how crazy Bill is, and how Ben's like, I don't care. It's good. It's round. I'll run it.
I'm just gonna flat spot that thing anyway. So who cares, right?
That's right. I'll make this thing balanced. I'll just flat spot the appropriate side, and it'll be good to go. So
I mean, I'm just trying to not have somebody screw my wheels up or charge me too much and kind of get it to me when I wish I could have it. You know what I mean? Those are the things I want.
So the shop we have will take it down to the gram for us.
Wow.
They're ridiculous, which I love. And they only have like 2 guys that they want to do our tires, and I still don't have to pay for it. It's fantastic.
That's crazy.
It's fantastic. I love it. It's awesome.
God, what is it like to be just universally liked? And so I cannot imagine living like you.
I don't know. Vicky's not on the podcast, so I don't have an answer for you. But if she was here, we can talk to her next time.
How are you guys so nice?
No, it's Vicki. It's 100% her. I have nothing to do.
You're
with
making
this
a lot of sense. She's very cool, and you're you. So you're making
exactly.
a lot of sense.
Exactly. I'm just here to edit, man. They just let me roll
That's
around.
Right.
Any other concerns you have with tires? Or I doubt
Tire
it.
mounting, balancing, and what was the other part? Prepping with exotic chemicals.
Yeah, don't do that. Keep the juices out of the tires.
Well, yeah, okay, all right.
Oh, you know what else? Not to do? This is a don't do, right? You got your race car, you're going, or maybe it's even your street car, and you're going out to the track and you want to look cool, right? You want that car to look spotless. You wash it and wax the car and everything's nice and stuff. Don't armor all your tires.
Was it slick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, how do you know? Tell us how you know.
Just, it's a rumor I've heard, you know. So you ready for my worst armor all thing? So I got that new car with the lug nut that got taken off the fifth day I had it, because 5 days into having the car, you gotta rotate those tires, get that wear even, because 5 days, man, woof, did do it again. So I'm taking care of the car because I'm 17. 17 was licensed around here, so most places it's not, but whatever. And I'm taking care of the car, and I'm like, hey, this armor all stuff is rather new, or new to me at least. I don't know when it started. And so I'm doing the seat, and I'm like, it's classic GM from the 80s, so it's pleather everywhere. Yep. So I do the seats, life is good. Then I'm like, I do the back seat, and it's all good, and it's all glistening, and life is good. And I do the console and the dash and everything. I did the steering wheel. That was a bad sign. Don't do the steering wheel. So then I decide, hey, these pedals down here, they got rubber on them. It would be cool if those were nice and shiny too. So I do the pedals. So later that day, I pick up a couple of my friends, and we're driving around, and the guy who's in the back seat, every turn, he's just sliding back and forth across the back of the car. And every time I go to get on the clutch, I'm just like, coming flying right off. So don't armor all your tires, and don't armor all your pedals when you're going to the track. Don't do that. Bad day.
And only armor all your pleather seats if you want to see your buddy slinging around in a very entertaining fashion.
Absolutely. Now that was entertaining, because it was the same guy who actually did the tire, the lug nut. So. Oh
yeah, having some sweet revenge on that dude, huh?
A little bit. We went the curvy way everywhere that day.
Eat it, buddy. Eat it. Well, yeah. So I think that's why that's got it covered until somebody hopefully emails us with a bunch of the stuff we didn't think to talk about, and we'll talk about that too.
That's right. Tires, they're more than just round.
Yes, and we love you listeners.
That's right. And Tire Rack, if you want to sponsor the podcast, garageheroesandtraining@gmail.com. Ben would gladly accept some tires for this coming up race. Hankook RS4s, I believe, are the spec tire for this series.
That's right. Racing this weekend with Lucky Dog at CAP. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm. Should be awesome. Say hi to Kathy for us.
Hell yeah. We'll do.
Thank you, sir.
Good night. Thank you.